Well, hello, and welcome to the BGKH show with Dominion and oh, well, hello there.
Hola. Sorry. My apologies, everyone. Small little crap going on, but that's okay. Hey, everyone. So sorry I'm late. Sorry.
Look who decided to join. First of all, I want to note again that Miss Terry, joined us at 7:43, so bright and early. And once again, back from the dead is Lupiton.
Hey, Lou.
And I see Lola and Eccentric. Thank you all for joining. We really appreciate it as always.
We do. And my apologies. I am in the midst of trying to pack and get myself together because I have some place to go, something that's very important to be at tomorrow evening.
So where are you going and why can't I go?
You can go, but I'm going to go and do. It is someone is being honored at CMU that is connected to Spill It Boy, and Spill It Boy therefore is being honored as well. So I'm showing up.
Is there a club car? Is there a club car?
There is not a club car. There's not a club car, house and ever. But it's gonna. Listen. There's certain things you can say to me that I'm always going to make you pay attention. You can say Harvard, you can say Yale, you can say Princeton. I'm always going to look up. I don't know what you got going on, but I'm going to look up and be like, all right, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, when you say CMU, that's another one of those schools that I just.
What's CMU?
Carnegie Mellon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's one of those.
When you say CMU, I think concrete masonry units. And so I was like, that can't be it.
No, that is not it. That is not it. So,
can I take a moment to talk about my new obsession?
Please. And well, wait a minute. Let's first of all, let's clearly identify as he licks the box. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. And it's not even a licking, as you tongue the shit out of this box in the most seductive. Oh, bitch, your tongue is really long.
I know.
Oh, God.
It's long and it's wide.
Lord have mercy.
But look at that. Look, I can also fold it together. Look at that.
So why is that such a thing? And people are not supposed to be able to do it? Or, I mean, not supposed to be able to do it, but...
Maybe I was not born with a lot of talents, but my tongue work is one of them.
Right. And when people always talk about that, like the curling tongue, they're like, oh, if you can do this, this is the one. And I'm like...
I don't know what... I've never heard any of that. It just means that I can, get it deep inside of places where it needs to be.
Well, listen, I mean, your Yelp reviews, I'm sure, are going to stand, on in infinitum. So,
right. And so since they're not a sponsor, I'm not going to say where I got these from, but these cranberry and white chocolate oatmeal cookies.
Cranberry and white
chocolate. Cranberry and not white, but white chocolate.
White.
Cranberry and white chocolate cookies, oatmeal cookies are my new obsession.
Is this a farmer's market purchase or is this a
I got these from a store that rhymes with Brader Bros.
Yes, because there's no free advertisement in this bitch.
There's
Nope.
no free advertisement here, but these cookies are delicious, edible, and not terrible. But okay, gotta cover the name up. Edible, but not terrible are these sea salt brownie bites. They're
Okay.
cute, but they don't blow my wig back.
So, are you a fan of sea salt and caramel?
I am. It's not again. It's not something I always seek out, but a little sea salt on a number of things is tasty.
Yeah, the sea salt and caramel kind of snuck up on me because I'm not really a big fan of caramel, but then I've
Mhm.
gotten into it. But the sea salt and caramel, the little bites, I felt like it's gonna be too chewy, too gooey, too whatever. But it's just enough that I get frustrated. I'm like, ah, and then it's like the caramel dissipates. It's like, oh, okay, and I'm like,
Mhm.
ah, okay, there it is, dissipates. So yeah, I'm kind of getting into the caramel and the sea salt.
Good.
Kind of getting into it. So, um, how was everyone's week? How was your week?
Lola said her latest obsession is the rustic apple pie from the co-op. Okay,
The
we're gonna
rustic
have to get into
apple.
that. And Aztec Daddy is here, and Joshua. I see Joshua got a little award today at the Jobby Job, so congratulations.
Oh,
So
congrats.
as soon as when you're in a position to start, giving me, the family discount on vehicles, let's talk.
I'm here for it.
And there's Dez and the whole gang. So I am so glad that you all joined us. So you asked me how my week was. It's fine. As I've said before, I'm trying to stop talking about oh yeah, Daddy Rod's peach cobblers are quite tasty. He made me one for LLC, and I fucked that girl. It was a whole cobbler though, and I did not have a refrigerator in my hotel room, so I was like, "Girl, how am I supposed to eat this whole fucking thing?" I made it work though.
I'm just laughing thinking about cling peaches. That's all.
Yeah, but yes. So my week, work was fine. I will say, right, that someone asked me, Pap asked me how my how's work going, and I said, you know what? I'm like Sisyphus. I keep rolling this rock up this hill diligently, 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 diligently rolling this hill rock up. And then I'd be like, whew, baby, that was a lot. You see how far we rolled that rock up? And the very second I take my finger off of that rock, she rolls all the way back down. And so
Well,
we just keep doing that over and over again. So progress is somewhat slow. And like today, we had a meeting with a vendor and some people on my team. And you know how you be like, well, at least I am double and triple tasking, right? Because once I got rid of old boy, new dude. So I have two dudes who are former Army soldiers and one dude who's a former Navy seaman. So
so
all three of the people that work for me are former military. So, and listen, I'm not military, but
taking
they
orders.
understand the structure. They know how to be like. I'm like, listen, you got to give a report to the 4-star, so it won't need to hear your 20-minute speech. If I ask you, Epic, how's this project going? Bitch, you got 15 seconds to say what the fuck you need to say, convey the topic, and keep it moving. And everybody's aligned to that, and we good. So the one of the soldiers was in charge of it, and he's new, but and he's still a little gruff with the girls. And I was like, all right, we wanna do the
He's still
armadillo.
barking out orders.
Yes, which is fine, kind of, but also these girls are very sensitive about the fact that they don't do no work. So they are not used to someone being like, okay, so this was due on Friday. It's Thursday. You still gonna have it on Friday? And then when they don't respond, this is my second request. Is this going to be done on Friday? Third request, is this going to be done on Friday? And so they're not used to all of that. So I've been like, okay, so I've sort of let it go because I'm like, listen, go in, let have.
But that shit right there, that is the type of activity that my boss participates in, and it wears me out.
But there's a difference because I know that you're performing. These are people who are not doing their job. They are not. They are just not doing their job. And here's a perfect example. So, like I said, I'm going to start calling him the general. So the general was managing the meeting, right? And so I'm listening while I'm doing, carry the one,
Whistling while you work.
If B3 equals is greater than 25, then so I'm working on other shit. And then all of a sudden I hear them talking and I was like, this requires a microphone. Sorry, hold on.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Everyone stop talking. I didn't say it like that. But so why are we having this conversation again? And then they start talking about no. I need to understand what is the question that you as the vendor need answered from Amtrak. They say the question. And then the other people will start giving answers and start asking questions. I was like, first of all, that is not at all pertinent to the conversation that we need to have here. Well, we're surveying the something on the fourth floor, and we're doing all of that, and then that is. I was like, that doesn't have anything to do with the subject at hand. Oh, okay. Well, I thought it did because had the same word in it. It's because they both had the word UPS in it. Don't mean they have anything to do with one another. So that's one. Two.
True.
The vendor is explaining the UPS is going to be this, and we're going to do all of that, and this is all of that. And then they're like, oh, well, I thought that this is what we was going to do. And so I'm saying to myself, so in other words, you weren't paying attention on any of this email string because the general had already summarized all of this shit. And if you had summarized it and just said yes to the email that he sent a week ago,
none of this
wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah.
So y'all been fucking around and not paying attention and not doing nothing. Baby, me and the general, after we got off the call, he cut out the call. He's Army, so he cussed like a sailor, and I'm fine with it. He was like, what the fuck are these people talking about? And I was like, I don't know, man. Because this meeting was so totally unnecessary because it showed that they were literally not paying attention at all.
So this is one of my pet peeves now, because when we're working from home, we now have 18 things that are going on because people are messaging you in all these different formats, and you're inside of meetings all the time, but you're still being given projects and stuff to do, answering emails. So while the conversations are going on and people are getting stuck on, is it a period or is it a semicolon or comma or whatever, you just zoned out and doing the shit that you have in front of you. So you don't pay attention to the shit that's going on. But then you have to come back later on, and it's like, okay, you were here, you got the gist of it, but you're kind of like, this is one of those things for me where it's, I don't want to say you're set up for failure, but it's just hard to focus. Like no one can do all of that at the same time.
Well, I'm good for, they'll be like, and well, my name is Brian. And they were like, so Brian, and I'm like, oh shit, someone mentioned my name. So I listen, I've said this on many meetings. I was like, so I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm working on multiple things in this meeting and I was not paying attention, but I have stopped what I'm doing so that I can answer your question fully. Then I answer the question, get him the answer, and then go back to whatever the fuck it was I was doing. Because, again, I'm usually working on multiple things. And, people work hard at Amtrak not to do their job. They work so hard not doing their job that if they had just done whatever the fuck that I asked like 3 months ago, we wouldn't be like they've spent more effort trying not to do any work than if they had just done what the fuck I'd asked. Because if they'd done what I'd asked, it would have only taken them like 2 weeks to do it. Instead, we've had to meet like 15 times over the past 3 months to have them sort of fuck around and dick around and do nothing. So
I guess I'm playing devil's advocate. So
what's that supposed to mean?
What's what?
What is that supposed to mean? I'm not getting it.
No, I'm just saying, I guess I'm playing devil's advocate because I'm sitting here saying I can see how it can be an issue for people to not always get stuff done because they're doing multiple things and not paying attention.
That's different. I've moved on from that. So I know that people are multitasking and I get that. And so when you hear your name, I expect you to pause whatever the fuck it was you was doing and answer the question. I always have answers to the question because although I'm multitasking, I'm always on top of my shit. There is nothing that falls under, well, there's I know 85% of the stuff. I mean, in the 15% that I don't know, I know who to get the answer from. So if you ask me a question in a meeting about something, I know the answer immediately because that's what the fuck I get paid for. Or I know how to get the answer and I commit to when I'm going to get you the answer back. It's not going to be like, yeah, I'll get you that answer. I'll say, hey, Epic, I'm paying attention to the question. What's your question? All right. I don't know the answer to that, or we need to get the date to that. So give me 24 hours and I will get back to you with the answer. So everybody is clear on what needs to happen. The situation that I'm talking about is I need you, Epic, to put together this estimate for all of this stuff that we're supposed to do. Well, normally we go out to a vendor and that takes like 9 months. I was like, Epic, we do not have 9 months to do this.
Okay.
You've done this 500 times. Take the most recent 50 times that you've done this, average the cost for all of those times, and give this just needs to be a swag. This is just a placeholder. But it needs to be, you can't just tell me some activity is going to cost $10 million. You got to say it's $10 million, but here is the data.
This is what's
back that up.
Yeah.
But you, Epic, I asked you that question 3 months ago, and every time we meet, you always got some bullshit excuse for why we meet. And so we've wasted a half hour or an hour talking around all of the things, where if you had just done what I asked you 3 months ago, you would have taken 2 weeks to get it done, and then you could have moved on to all of this other shit. And then, so you, Epic, think you're going to be cute and send an email to me, to the general, to our boss, and to our boss's boss.
I feel like I'm in the goddamn in the damn principal's office, number one, because I'm like, well, bitch, what the fuck did I do again? Like, what happened? But so that person sounds like they were scared and trying to look for, like, grasping at straws and trying.
They're 100% grasping at straws, and they do this for every project. But what they don't realize is that I've got a boss who's like right here, so I'm trying to keep her off. And we got a project that needs to get built. This is a construction project, so you can't dick around on a construction project. When your shit is supposed to happen on May the 20th, you need to have your shit ready on May the 20th. And if you don't, it costs Amtrak $60,000 per day of delay. So you need to have your shit together. So she gonna email the whole team, so I reply to the whole team. Team, this is what you need to do. This is what you do not need to do. You have been focused on the wrong thing. Here are the 5 things that I need you to do. And, you know, I always have a chain going back those 3 months to when I asked you this the first time. The request of what I asked you hasn't changed. And by the way, since you CC'd your boss and your boss's boss, so now you've already, put yourself in the hot seat, because now your boss and your boss's boss know that you've been fucking around for the past 3 months.
Pretty much.
Her only response to that was, okay, I don't think we can get it done in this time frame. It usually takes like a month and a half. This needs to be done This request has been outstanding since February the 1st. This needs to be done in the next 2 weeks. Okay, bye.
You gave them a time frame. You gave them the 2 weeks that you originally wanted them to get it done. So
Right.
let's see if they can make it happen. But at this point, I mean,
So, that's just annoying. And, that part. So all of that drama is fine. What really grinds my gears is the lack of support that we sometimes get from leadership, right? Because like they'll know that,
see, and that's the part that annoys me. But,
right, we have all of this bullshit going on, right?
No, I'm
And
sorry. You're saying the lack of leadership, the lack of support from leadership. It's the shit we were just talking about. That's the shit that annoys me.
oh, okay, well, it's annoying, but it's like par for the course. It's like I'm girl, it's 8 o'clock. It's time for the show. Put these girls on mute. Everybody want to call like right at 8 o'clock.
Hey, Switchblade, what's going on?
Hey, cutie. But everybody know that this person is crazy. She don't do her job. She always whatever. And I've been reporting. I got to report every week on the status. So I've been like, still don't have the answer. Still don't have the answer. But then my boss will be like, why don't we add a fucking answer? So you be pressing me every Wednesday to get you to report, but you clearly don't read the report. Because if you read the report, you'd already know the answers to that. And what I need you to do is talk to your peer to get the shit done. But instead, you just are like right here. That's the part that's annoying and the part that makes me want to leave the organization. Not the shit with you or with the person.
Right.
That's like par for the course. It's like a billion moving parts. Everything is always going to be mess. And for whatever reason, I'm fine with that. But what I need is my leadership to support me. Like I support my team. It's almost never my team's fault when something doesn't go right. It's ours to fix.
Okay.
But it's not your fault. And so I'm always saying that. I was like, Epic, it's not your fault that we are 3 weeks behind because you just got to keep people moving. So get that. But it's ours to resolve. So what is our plan to resolve it? As opposed to Epic, why isn't this right? What haven't we done in the past 3 months? Why are you late with this? Why hasn't this happened? I'm getting all of it. It's just like, girl, what?
Yeah, that is this is such a teachable moment, and this is such a everything that's going on in my life type of thing. Because all the stuff I've been talking about as far as work, the negative side is the side that I feel like I'm getting, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
But
a lot of people in leadership are not good leaders at all. I feel like everyone is stressed, and so what they do is get someone halfway competent to. Yes, I know you're a puta, Switchblade. My shirt says I can't because it won't really go down anymore. Let's see.
It says
putas love me. And I know you love me, Switchblade, and I love you back. One of these days I'm gonna show you just how much one of these days I'm gonna show you just how much I love you. Yeah. So other than that, I had a fisting date on Saturday. I was really looking forward to. I'm getting a little bit more deeply into fisting. And not that I wasn't into it before, but
it's just happening more, and
it's just happening more, and I'm totally.
You find it cyclical for you because I find it like when I'm in it, it's like it just all starts happening. Then it's like,
right.
Okay.
And so I had purchased, well, remember for Onyx, when we got all of that stuff from Fort Trough?
Yes, this past.
Yes. Like that was in 2020. It was 2021 because, right.
Because that was when you and Pat rode down and picked up all
that stuff, and then MAL got canceled in 2021.
Yes.
So one of the things that I took as my service for that was 2 bottles of that Fort Trough lube. One was just like the regular lube for fucking, and one was the super thick lube for fisting.
Right.
So I have been using that lube. I used it a couple of times for toy play, and once for fisting. And 2 people now have reported that it burned.
Hmm.
And I think it was more the friction because it's too thick. So like 2 different people with holes of varying experience. One was like this cute young young Latin boy with this big he has this pair of wings on his back and a nice smooth body, and
Little Latin boy with wings on his
little Latin boy with wings. Why are you crying? Because my butthole stings.
back.
And then an older white guy who with the most beautiful hazel eyes, but he's much more experienced fister, and both of them were like, yeah, this lube stings. And so I was like, well, that is enough of a sample size. So I threw that shit right away.
Because I'm wondering now if it's lube doesn't necessarily go bad.
No, I mean, it was in a sealed container. I think it's just too thick. And so, it doesn't have enough slipperiness
Viscosity.
right inside of the hole. And, when you're putting fists or bigger toys in, those tissues are stretching. And so if it's, depending on the chemical composition of it, it's almost certainly irritating those internal tissues.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
I've
And
tossed that shit away and have gone back to my tried and true homemade brew of J Lube and water-based boy butter. So
I was gonna say yours
she never fails me.
Yeah, it looks like whipped cream. I was like, okay, come on, do you?
Mhm.
Come on, whipped cream.
Well, no, that whipped cream was actually that's a natural concoction.
I'm talking about in the bottle. Thank you very much.
In the bottle, yes, it does.
Yes, it looks like whipped cream. So I was like, okay.
So, how is? Let me see. Have we said? Hey, Joshua. So, Aztec Dad is, an expert. I use a combination of Vaseline, Albaline, and either Fulfalston, X-Lube, and K-Lube. Now, I have not tried X-Lube and K-Lube, but I've heard really good things about that. So I'm about to scoop up some bottles of that and give it.
But listen, Aztec, that combination sounds kind of like it would be kind of hot because the Albaline kind of, it disintegrates or melts or what doesn't Albaline doesn't.
Albaline had numbing properties.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Okay.
But you can probably get some of the numbing properties in. Well, you can get that in the boy butter.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, I wonder if it does come like that in K-Lube or X-Lube.
Well, we'll have to figure that out. So, how was your week? What's going on? What's new? What's happened? What's popping?
My week has been interesting because I think I was paying attention to the dynamics at work because I'm having a good week. I'm not having any moments. I'm not having any issues. I'm not having any, it's been an okay week. And it's almost like, is this the quiet before the storm? Like, what's getting ready to go on? Like, I'm just trying to understand what's going on.
Let's pivot that thinking, right? Because I can get into that too. It's like this poverty thinking where, it's like you don't deserve good things, or if something good has happened to you, something bad has got to be around the corner. And I have to actively work to not get caught in that mindset. So I don't want you to do that either.
Well, it's probably happened and happening because I find myself all this week waking up saying like, I got to Sunday and I was just like, damn, I got to go to work tomorrow. And then, I get to work. And then
we got to pause here. So Vaseline at the hole, Insert liquid lube, and I add clove oil for a little numbing and hand coated in Albaline.
I have not. You know what, Aztec? I have never heard about this clove oil for numbing. Are you serious?
All right.
Does it need to be warmed and heated? Does it change the property? Like what? What?
We're going to need you to give a tutorial, sir. All right.
I'm kind of. What were we talking about?
Oh yeah, you use the you can use clove oil for toothaches, and I have heard that.
Oh, okay.
I guess I suppose you could use Absorbine Junior. I would not put Absorbine Junior on your hole. I'm telling you now.
But
put Absorbine Junior on your hole.
I'm not. I'm gonna co-sign that with you and say don't do that. But I am gonna say that baby oral gel sometimes has gotten the kids through some sticky situations.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna ask Aztec Daddy if you can reply in the chat and tell us where we can buy clove oil. Can I just get it from like Whole Foods or something?
you probably can find. We probably can find that on because I
I'm
got.
sure,
Yeah, I'm sure we can find it anywhere.
I'm
But
sure you
okay,
can find it on Amazon or something.
that's another conversation. But okay. So anyway, I've been dreading going into work all week, and so I said,
Remember, it's the Black Gay Kinky show. Keep going.
all right. So, but other than that, it's been okay. I'm looking forward to getting back into the Berg for a second, and probably get to see a couple people. So I'm looking forward to that. So I'm excited, and I am I'm just happy to kind of change the scenery up for a little bit.
Yeah.
Get out of get.
How long
get,
are you going to be gone?
I don't know. I'll see. I actually don't need to be in the office, so I actually got a break there, so I can kind of figure out if I want to come back, if I want to stay a little bit longer.
Ever? He said, "Do I ever want to come back, or am I just going to move there, or
But move back? Oh, absolutely not. Listen. I love the Berg. I think it is a great place to be, and I think it is the cost of living. All that stuff is wonderful. Great place to raise a family. But baby, as a single gay man in the city, I would go batshit crazy. Batshit crazy. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Now, as a retired person, you got your boo, you there. Great. All that's fine. It'd be great. But right now, no. But I got to start thinking about that, so I got to figure it out. So.
I'm not retiring anywhere where it's not warm.
Well, and that's the other part. So yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. But anyway, so the week for the most part has been good. But besides those moments like that were kind of crappy for me, just thinking about the idea of work, it was cool. But I am looking forward to this quick little getaway, and I'm gonna see how I feel afterwards, because you have these revelations and these moments where I found out someone in the industry is retiring, and it just kind of knocked. I was just like, is that what I need to do? Do I need to just leave it altogether? And so it just kind of clicked, and something resonated with me today. And so we shall see. We'll see. We shall see what this brings.
Okay.
Yeah, we shall see. But other than that, it's been a good week. I don't really have too many complaints at all.
Hallelujah.
At all. So, but it is it's still early, and we still got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yep.
So
let's get into it.
Okay. What's on the tickety talks?
You need to stop being such a cunt. You need to stop being such a cunt.
That's cute. I like that. That was really cute.
Chilly today.
Hold on, I gotta go back because this woman, I love her.
She's the one. She gets
chilly today.
By saying good morning doesn't mean I want you to have a conversation with me. Good morning.
Chilly today.
By saying good morning doesn't mean I want you to have a conversation with me.
She is my morning spirit animal.
How I feel every fucking morning. And be like, hi, Brian. And I'm like, oh, girl, why are you so loud? What the fuck?
She is my morning spirit animal. Oh, my God. Come on. But I was laughing about with her.
You haven't had your morning coffee. I was like, bitch, I could have had like a gallon of coffee and still don't want you screeching in my ear at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Did you see the one with her and her it was she thought it was a headband or a bandana?
Mm-mm.
It was it's with her. I think it was her granddaughter or daughter gave her a thong, and she thought it was a bandana.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And then she finally realized what it was. So I invite the listeners to determine which of these cats is me and which one of these cats is Epic.
Fuck you!
But the reason that I posted this and the reason that Epic is laughing so uproariously is because this is literally our life.
Oh God, that is priceless.
Yeah.
That was priceless.
When
I
I
was
saw
like,
this,
I was sitting there watching, and I was like, we just had this.
yeah, so Bestie, that's definitely Epic because he'll be like, bitch, I do not have any money. None. And I'm like, girl, worry about that shit later.
It's like, just make some more. You'll be all right.
Hey, we'll make some more. I have literally said that. I was like, bitch, what the fuck do we work for? We'll make the money when we come back from the fucking trip.
Oh God, that was a, you know what? That was a much needed stressful laugh because that was I have a lot on my plate, and yeah, that was a lot. That was good. That was good. That was really good.
Oh, wrong screen.
Oh.
Remember, a hip-hop beef is grown men writing angry poems to each other. Until we meet again. Remember, a hip-hop beef is grown men writing angry poems to each other. Until we meet again.
Listen, Skeletor is shady and hilarious, and I love her.
When you look back on these things, you sit back and say, the kids are everywhere. Because I swear, I do not think that someone that was not one of the kids came up with it, just Skeletor just in general. It just, I'm sorry. Mm-mm.
Right. I felt that in my spirit.
He had enough. He was like, that is it. I was like, God, I've had enough.
I have been that little boy or that little child so many times in my life where I'm just like, girl, fuck this.
Right.
Like when I was little, you ever hit your head on like when you're little, like you ever hit your head on like some furniture or something and you be trying to like fight the cabinet or some shit?
The door, or like as you're putting your head up because you hit it on the cabinet coming up, or the drawer. God, doorknobs, everything.
Right.
Lord have mercy.
Hey, friend. Okay. Oh, she's kind of in a. Who grandma is this? Girl, she got a whole skirt. Hey, friend.
That's just a talent. And you know, don't be mad. Don't be mad because you can't do that with your tongue.
Bitch, I died. Yeah. But there's some talented person out there that probably couldn't do that.
Bitch, I thought I was gone. I thought I was gone, but she held me. Bitch, I thought I was gone. I thought I was gone, but she held me.
Listen, that is the definition of being black. That red Solo cup never spilled a drop. I have seen girls take a tumble down the stairs, fall in the middle of the fucking dance floor, pass all the way the fuck out, and fall smoothly to the ground. But that cup
It's gonna be up in the
up,
air.
right, and ready.
Listen, don't drop. Listen, best friend and I. As a matter of fact, best friend and Desmond and I were going out one night. Best friend was so tipsy on an icy street. Best friend slipped in between the curb and the car, ruined his yellow polo jacket, but that glass was up in the air. Not one drop was spilt. Not one. Not one.
I'm a 35-year-old gay man. When I was in high school, I was bullied severely by Darren. I won't go into details, but it was really bad. Past the point of typical high school bully douchebaggery. In my sophomore year, I made the mistake of coming out to one of my friends, who promptly spread this information around through the school. Before this, Darren had targeted me for being unathletic and wearing glasses, and had done this to a couple of other kids as well. But after I was outed, it was only me, and only because of my sexuality. After high school, I moved away for college. I made friends, even got a boyfriend, and pretty much forgot about Darren. Until one Thanksgiving, my sister, Ellie, brought home her boyfriend, Darren. No joke. The first thing he said when he saw me was, "Damn, Ellie, you didn't tell me your brother's an F word. Goddamn, coming in hot there, Darren." Ellie effing laughed, as did my dad. I was kind of stunned, but I didn't yell or start a fight. I just got up and walked out. Shout out to you. After the fact, my family tried to play it off as Darren was just joking because he was nervous about meeting the family. If that's what you do when you're nervous, what kind of... And they told me that he and Ellie were serious, so I had to get over it. I just told them all that I wouldn't be attending any event where Darren was. In private, I told Ellie that I felt hurt that she date Darren, knowing what he did to me. She basically called me too sensitive and told me that she was right to date who she likes, which yes, she does. Since then, I've been putting distance between myself and my family, who seem to have really accepted Darren into the fold. Recently, my mom reached out to me to tell me that Ellie was in the hospital and needed a kidney transplant. The rest of the family had been tested and none could donate. And my mom wanted me to get tested because I'm her full brother with a high likelihood of a match. The thing is, after all these years, Ellie is basically a stranger to me. If I were to do this, I'd have to drive 3 states back to my hometown, miss who knows how much work, and give up a piece of my flesh. All for the women who dated and eventually married the guy who made my high school days a living hell. I told my mom that I wouldn't be getting tested, and she freaked out at me over the phone. I quickly hung up on her, but before I did, I heard her call me vindictive and a monster for refusing to save my sister's life. I admit I feel guilty about it. Am I the a-hole? I'm a 35-year-old.
You have the first word, sir.
Clearly, this was important enough to him, and it has impacted him in a negative way. And he wanted to feel like he did something about it at the expense of his relationship with his sister, whatever that was. That's sad. That's all I got, is that's sad. I'm sitting here thinking for myself, would I have done that, or could I do it? Yes. Would I have? That's the part for me. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not under these circumstances. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. How about you?
Could I have done it? Yes. I mean, one can do anything. Would I have done it? Hell yeah. My cut you off and act like you never existed game is strong as fuck. There is no. Because black families particularly, but a lot of white and Asian and Latino families are always like, but that's your sister, but that's your brother, but that's your whatever, no matter whatever the fuck that they did to you. And this wasn't just, some minor thing. this man, I mean, because at some point, bullying, I mean, like once you get into like the 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, right? You know what the fuck you're doing.
That is true.
And all this, when your brain isn't fully developed, but you know what the fuck you're doing. You purposely made this man's life a living hell. And then when you run into this dude years later, and you could have started off with, oh, damn, Darren, listen, hey, I am so sorry I was an asshole to you when we were in high school. I am so sorry. I know there's nothing that I can do to give you that time back, but I'm really sorry, brother. And, your sister means a lot to me, and, whatever. He ain't say none of that.
No.
He started the conversation after all these years by calling him a faggot in front of his whole family, and the family laughed and thought it was funny. And I would have done exactly what Darren did, which is get my macaroni and cheese because, since he's a faggot, he'd make the best food. So I would have grabbed my shit and dipped out and never spoken to them bitches again. Ever. Now, is there a door for that to come back and be open? Yes. But right at that moment, but they would have had to do all of the work because I would have been here. They were here. They would have need to come all the way to me. There's no way that I would have met them in the middle or halfway because he's already traumatized from school. So that is a wound that already is lasting potentially for the rest of his life. Then he runs to this guy again. He's re-traumatized, and his family makes fun of the trauma. So fuck him.
I think the sad part is also that it seems like his sister, and clearly the rest of the family,
his sister was part of the shit because she didn't even, she was like, my need for dick outweighs, and I mean that is her right to do.
That is
100% her right to do, but she didn't even try to keep it on. She was like, she could have, it could have been like an unhappy medium where it's like, I still love you, Darren, as a brother, so we're not gonna bring, this guy or the whatever the son's name, because Darren was the bully. I still love Darren, but I still love you as mine, so we're not gonna bring Darren around. I'm gonna have a conversation about him. Like, you just can't be calling my brother out his name or whatever. But no, everybody took Darren's side. This stranger over the family. So now all that is y'all's problem. That's all y'all's problem. I've said it before. Like when I fell out with my uncle and some of my other brothers, I was like, I hope none of these hoes ever need a kidney because they are out of gas.
Well, listen, I really don't necessarily have too much to stand on because, again, for my current situation.
Right.
So,
But even if you talk about your ideal self, I would handle it. What I'm telling you is that is how I would deal with it. And we've talked about your situation. I was like, girl, I would handle the situation the same way you did. You just cannot allow the fact that we all had the same mama or the same father or the same grandparents, in the case of cousins, to allow people to continually disrespect you without some form of reparations, or even starting off with a I'm sorry and whatever. So fuck them. Yeah. I'm sorry his sister need a kidney transplant, but listen.
Yeah.
You die on the operating table. Lots of people die donating.
Exactly. Donating.
So, and then what's supposed to be? They're going to be at the funeral, and then what is Darren going to do? Sorry, your little faggot brother died trying to give you a kidney. No, girl, no. Why should I cut myself open for you when you wouldn't even stop dating the dude who made my life a living hell? Girl, fuck that. No.
This is, yeah. I don't know. And I guess part of me is always thinking, do people think about that? Like, do people really think about?
I don't. I think people say crazy shit, and then afterwards they're like, "Oh, now in hindsight, listen, do we hurt one another,
Absolutely.
Accidentally?
Absolutely.
Yes. And then when you do something to someone accidentally, you're like, "Oh shit, Epic, I'm so sorry. I see how that hurt you. Can we move on from this?" But that was a purposeful hurt.
Yeah.
With no intention of trying to come back from it. And now you are expected to forgive that hurt because now someone else is hurting. This is just as bad as people that say, "Oh well, Uncle Joe take to a woman or a man. Uncle Joe molested me, but that's still your uncle, and now Uncle Joe, has dementia and needs some place to live, and you got a house, and they're like, well, can Uncle Joe come live with you? Nope.
Absolutely the fuck not. He cannot. He will not.
Nope. That's y'all problem, because y'all stood by Uncle Joe all this time. So stand by his ass now.
Listen, and you know that is exactly where I'm at right now. I'm like, oh, is that because if that's where we go?
Right.
Listen.
So I don't. No, ma'am. You say certain shit, and you just can't come back from it.
Yeah. Whatever.
I got the baddest bitch up in the fucking. Yo, I got the baddest bitch up in the fucking. I got the baddest bitch up in the fucking planet. I got the baddest bitch up in the fucking planet. I got the baddest bitch up in the fucking planet. I got the baddest bitch up in the fucking. Yo, I got the baddest bitch up in the fucking. I got the baddest.
Auntie is wild.
She is
Auntie is like Auntie is look. Auntie is like
she is living her best ass in her face life right now. She's like, yes, I'm gonna lick it, I'm gonna stick it, I'm gonna put something else in it, I'm gonna got my little money in my pocket. Listen, go on.
$5.
Go on, listen, go on. She gonna put it in the front. Then she gonna have to put, she's gonna put it, down in the front.
Hey, no, baby, you don't put it in the. Well, she may put it in the front, baby. I am known for taking that dollar and sliding it between the butt cheeks so I can get a good old feel as I'm giving right. Give it like I hope your booty hole clean, but I've been wiping that booty hole with that dollar bill,
and then later on you feel like yeah. And there we are.
That's my other signature move. Epic has seen it. Volt has seen it. Volt did that shit to me. I'll be like, Epic. Epic.
What?
Smell my finger. Actually, because we're such good friends, I don't even say smell my finger. I'll be like, Epic.
What? And that's exactly how the shit would go down. I'll be sitting here like, oh, what the fuck is that?
Just trust me, girl. Just trust me. Trust me.
Like, what the fuck is that?
Bitch, would I lead you astray?
Like, listen, but that light skin or dark skin? That's what?
Would I lead you astray?
All right.
Exactly. I got you.
Shit. Anyway.
So this is the last one. So on, I guess, Monday, Jill Scott posted the following, I think on Instagram, at Chris Brown is amazing. How does anybody sing like that? Dance, look, act, and rap like that? Beyond gifted. It appears exceptional people have to go through exceptional fires. There's nothing to debate. And Chrissy, LCWS, so licensed clinical social work. I think that's what LCWS stands for. I think the women he abused would disagree. Jill Scott says, I doubt it. My mother's ex-husband was a mean, violent human being, and he could lay foundation better than anyone in my city. What he did with cement was awe-inspiring. We got away. He got a raise and praise for his ability. God dealt with the rest. Noir says, I love you, Jill, but he has so many domestic abuse cases, it's ridiculous. We can't look past that. Jill Scott said, I love you too. I'm not here to fight anyone else's battle. Since women hear these stories, they should avoid that street. Running back in, moving traffic makes zero sense. Therapy for every damn body.
I saw this and I still feel kind of like, Jill.
I'm just like, people, this is why, not just Jill Scott, right? But I feel like a lot of people, this is why, like, when people get all worked up about shit on Facebook or people in general, I just tend I've learned not to get worked up because I hate to use the word empathic, but I tend to be a person like, if you're worked up, then I will get worked up with you. But I have learned not to do that because people are full of shit. So Jill Scott has talked about, other people being abused. She talks about being for women and all this other stuff. Yet a man who, we're not just talking about Rihanna, we talk about lots of other women that he has beaten. These things have come out. This is out there. You can you could have just left that comment. You could have just left it.
That's
and
it.
to say what you say, right? But then to like double down on it and to say that, if you hear the stories, they should avoid that street. You're missing the point. By her standing by him, it enables people like him to think that it's not that big a deal, because women, even women who grew up in an abusive household, think that that is the norm, think that it's acceptable. That's why there are women who, when they get abused, think, oh, he do it because he loved me. Or I saw my grandmama get abused. I saw my mama get abused. So I thought this was my lot in life as a woman to get abused. And when a famous woman says, girl, this is just par for the course. If you don't like it, move. Well, girl, everybody can't move. Sometimes you have 2 or 3 kids that you have to take care of. And if you leave, you have nothing. Sometimes the bank accounts and everything is in his name. So if you tried to move, you have no money to move. Sometimes he has purposely isolated you so that you are across the country or across town or someplace where if you was to leave, you have nowhere to go. And to have a famous person say that and not realize all of the situations that women might have to be living through that put them in the situation and just be like, if you don't like it, leave, is just extremely disappointing.
Yeah. I've heard other stories about Jill not necessarily being
I heard she's not too down for the girls. I feel like I heard her say
she's
some
not
shit.
a fan of the girls, and it's kind of like, so I've kind of always looked at her kind of in this eye of like, girl, really?
Right.
Like I don't necessarily know if I'm shocked, but I think I'm still kind of like, well, girl, you started, but and I don't get mad now because you probably really shouldn't have said it from the beginning. So it's like, and then if you go and say it or think it or feel it, that's one thing. But then when you put it out there on the internet, like, girl, that's what. But
right.
Okay, well, all right.
Running backwards and moving traffic makes no sense. What the fuck does that even mean? I'm not here to fight anyone else's battles. No, girl, but you can support those people as they're trying to fight their battles, because domestic violence, I have heard women talk about how sometimes they just will give a man their number because they're afraid of the repercussions of telling the man no.
Yeah. I've heard
all that kind of shit. This is what all of that feeds into, this mentality that a man can do whatever he wants to a woman, and this is her lot in life.
Yeah. I just, on a very basic level, no one should be overpowering anyone. No one should be, just the inappropriateness of with someone, just being with someone that inappropriately, none of that should be there. It shouldn't happen.
Right.
And it's not about male, female, or male, male, female, female. It just shouldn't happen. I just, I don't know.
So the last thing that I have, Red Lobster eyes bankruptcy after $11 million loss from endless shrimp. I just thought this was hilarious. Not for all of the people that might lose their job, but I'm like, girl. So last year, Red Lobster reported $11 million in operating losses following its flubbed Ultimate Endless Shrimp deal, which backfired when it reeled in too many customers after the limited time promo became a permanent menu fixture last June. The restaurant chain later reported an additional 12.5 million in losses in the fourth quarter of 2023. I'm just like,
you
so
you're doing it for a limited time period to get people
because it's like a loss leader.
You're spending money.
We all know that, you know, those of us who's taken marketing classes or understand that endless shrimp promotion is a loss leader. You get people in the door. You know you're going to lose a little bit of money, but it's a limited time promotion. You get people in. You get people to buy the endless shrimp, but then they're also buying because it don't come with the size. It don't come with the size. It don't come with the
liquor.
You know, don't come with the liquor. It don't come with desserts. Everybody at the table might not eat the shrimp or whatever. And so you bank on people being like, oh, Red Lobster is cool. So now, even when the promotion isn't there, they'll still come back for the regular platter and eat food there. You cannot make something like that a permanent fixture. How do I know this? Ask me how I know this, Epic.
You know what? I have a question for you, Dominion.
Yes.
How do you know this?
Picture it. Camp Springs, Maryland, 1988. I, a young proto-gay, worked at Bob's Big Boy in Camp Springs, Maryland, right across from the entrance of Andrews Air Force Base.
Okay.
Bob's Big Boy was known for their all-you-can-eat buffet, both the breakfast bar and then the dinner bar. So, like in the summer, they'd have different promotions. Like for a couple of months, like during the summer, they might have like the barbecue bar. Then they would have like the Cajun bar, and then they would have the all-you-can-eat shrimp bar. And they would have like other stuff, like they'd have clams on the bar, they'd have fried fish on the bar, but they would have, like, if they had this much clams and this much shrimp, fried fish, they'd have 3 of the full sheet pans full of shrimp. Full of shrimp. Full of shrimp. Your cousins niggas would come in
Ziploc bags.
This was 1988, so it was maybe like $15 for the all you can eat.
So they came in with their Ziploc bags and plastic bags and everything else.
Bro, we tried to keep a handle on that, but the girls would come in, you know, they get their little plate, right? Plate mounded over. Mounded over.
Looking like Marge Simpson's hair type of shit.
Like, you gotta walk back to the table slowly with it so that none of the shrimp slides off.
Oh my God. Lord.
People would eat. They would eat every one of those shrimps. There would be shrimp shells on the table, on the floor, on just like on every available thing.
I'm just gonna.
It was disgusting. And my sister, I don't think my sister had started working there yet because she's allergic to shrimp, as am I, but I'm not allergic to the smell of it. But it would just be like shrimp shells all over the place. Baby, we would put out 3 pans of that, 3 full steam trays of that shrimp.
Yeah.
It's like fucking piranhas. You put out the table and like there's a line of people waiting for you to put the shrimp in. Like some people would have tongs. They wouldn't even wait for you to put the fucking pan in the steam table before they start like grabbing the shrimp. And then you step away, you turn your back, you look back, and all of the shrimp is gone again.
The trays, but wait, the trays behind you, the other 2 ones that you're bringing out, they were going. You didn't get to take them off the tray. I mean, off the
well, we would fill up the 3, but what we learned was you had those. I don't know if you've ever worked in a restaurant, but we had those big ass steam kettle full of it. So as soon as you empty the steam kettle, you set the next batch on because we knew during that promotion it would always be gone. So we knew that in 1989. Whenever they have those all-you-can-eat shrimp deals at any seafood restaurant, it's always a thing. So why these people would think that they could make that a permanent fixture without losing money on top of money on top of money.
Because
is
if you're not
ridiculous.
even bringing, if you are, you'd have to make so much money to in order. Well, actually, you can't sustain just in general. I was gonna say you have to make so much money to keep it going, but you just can't sustain with all you can eat anything, making it a permanent part of your menu. Period.
Yes, and even so for whatever reason, you coloreds love all you can eat peel and eat shrimp. I don't know what it is. I would just see people gorge themselves on shrimp. Like at some point, and I mean, I have no control over how you eat it. I would see some people, because you have like the table that's like the 2-top where you sit across one another, and sometimes a 4-top. I've seen people take like the paper menus, lay them out like we was like an actual crab boil or whatever, and just dump all of the shrimp on the table, and then like the whole family eat it, and then somebody else will go back and get more plates till there's literally like 1,000,000 shrimp on one table, and then eventually 1,000,000. It was disgusting. It was just so fucking disgusting.
That sounds awful.
It was so disgusting. So yeah, it is not at all surprising to me that they lost money on that promotion. I'm going to say that the controlling so their investor is Thailand based. It's called the Thai Union Group. I am betting that decision was made by that group who didn't understand how
American folk,
how gluttonous American folks are, because people just in other countries. So the buffet was not started in the United States. It was started in, I mean, they've always had like full things, but that idea of a smorgasbord is a Scandinavian word. But think about it. These Scandinavians, these blonde-haired, blue-eyed people was working the fields and the farms all fucking day. So did they eat like 1,000,000 pounds of food? That's because they got their ass up at 4 o'clock to start milking the cows. They was working all day, and then the wives was in there cooking the food, for all of them. The gauchos, the rodizio, the like Texas de Brazil. Yeah, did they have those big, huge size of meats? It's because they were roping cattle and doing all that shit all day. We ain't doing none of that shit in
not like that.
No.
And listen, all we're doing is at the push of a button. That's all we're doing. That is all we're doing. What's going on?
It's saying that we've lost access to some of the accounts, but you keep going.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that.
It says I've attempted to share a private, intimate image. Oh.
What are you doing?
I think it's a picture of that lady's butt. The lady licking that girl's butt. So I think they gathered me. I think they gathered me.
We're streaming to Facebook. This baby edition, or end of deleted on the Facebook. We'll keep trying. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, So we're off.
I reconnected. All right, so no more images of Auntie Pearl licking the stripper's lower backside.
Oh my god. Well, we're all. Oh no, it was on Facebook. Oh my gosh.
You know what? Or one of these girls tried to report it or something, but we'll be all right. So see what happened. If you were following us and watching us on the YouTube, we don't have to worry about that. Exactly, Treasure. They didn't got you. We still on the YouTubes, so that's what matters.
How do we take these boxes out here?
Yeah, I fixed it. I've reconnected it. So hit us with these stories, baby.
All right, so here we go. So first up, tonight, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2024 inductee class this year were officially announced, and you are going to be surprised at who they are nominating or that is going to be inducted. Mary J. Blige, Cher, Dave Matthews Band, Foreigner, Peter Frampton, Kool and the Gang, Ozzy Osbourne, A Tribe Called Quest. All of them are being inducted under the performer category, which honors artists who've created music whose originality, impact, and influence has changed the course of rock and roll, according to a release. Now, Cher's part, what's up?
I don't dislike A Tribe Called Quest, but
we can agree to disagree. I'm gonna go ahead and read the rest of the story.
Okay.
Okay. Cher's induction comes after she publicly rebuked the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame last year for never nominating her. She said, "I wouldn't be in it now if they gave me $1 million." She said that on the Kelly Clarkson show in December. She said, "I'm never going to change my mind," she declared. She said, "I mean, they can just, what themselves." So again, now she's being inducted. But now Suzanne DePass is being honored with the Ahmet Erdogan Award, which goes to the non-performing industry professional who's had a major influence on the growth of the art form.
I see that.
I do too. Others who were nominated this year but not selected for induction include Mariah Carey, Eric B. and Rakim, Jane's Addiction, Lenny Kravitz, Oasis, Sinead O'Connor, and Sade. Okay. So the 2024 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction will air live Saturday, October 19th on Disney Plus. So go check that out. That's going to be pretty interesting.
So again, I feel like I have to finish my statement that I don't dislike A Tribe Called Quest, but I'm trying to figure out how they change the game. And listen, I'm not the biggest hip hop fan, so if other people who are deeply into hip hop will say that will do that, then I get that. Mary J. Blige changed the R&B game because Mary J. Blige was one of the first people that did that real combination of hip hop and R&B. And baby, what's the 411? And we've had this conversation about how you listen to that tape so many times that you wore all of the letters off and you had to put a piece of tape on one side to tell the A side from the B side.
Or you also had to make sure you put that little extra piece of the paper on the ends of it because you wanted to make sure nobody recorded over top of it. So you just keep it playing over and over and over in your copy because you could never afford to buy the original tape. Yeah.
Lola said Eric B. and Rakim need to be inducted before A Tribe Called Quest. I kind of agree with that.
I see that. I see that.
Now, some of these other names, I don't have no problem. Well, Dave Matthews Band, I don't see it. I see it for Foreigner and Peter Frampton because everybody, black, white, and otherwise, had a copy of Frampton Comes Alive.
Ozzy Osbourne, I think I'm kind of shocked that he has not been in before.
Not already. Yeah. Kool and the Gang. This again. I feel like it should just be called the Music Hall of Fame because a lot of these artists are not rock. And by doing it, I feel like what we're doing is saying that these people are, because when Mary J. Blige came out, the white girls was not feeling it. They were not feeling, most white people didn't even know who Kool and the Gang or A Tribe Called Quest were. But now that white people know who these people are, now they can be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which if we just had a Music Hall of Fame, then I'd be fine with. But if you're going to call it rock and roll, Mary J. Blige, A Tribe Called Quest, Mariah Carey, Eric B. and Rakim, and Sade, definitely Sade. Those people are not rock.
I was getting ready to say Cher, but then I was like, no, Cher got no. She
definitely rock to me.
Yeah, Cher's kind of She
believe in love and love.
Well, that's her gay techno side, as far as I'm concerned. But Cher, I don't know. Cher has some interesting stuff. It was always R&B good stuff.
I got you, babe.
So her little disco album, I used to like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the name of the damn song, but it was like always a good energy, a good feeling. My mom had that and also Teddy Pendergrass album up. So like I remember those two albums.
Turn them off. You got what I need. Exactly. Only you, baby, only you. You ain't never had nobody love me the way you do. Ain't never had nobody love me through and through. Ain't never had nobody love me quite this way. Nobody loving me, you.
Let me finish these damn stories. Listen, so I haven't been watching RuPaul's. Well, I'm not gonna say I haven't been. I've been secretly watching RuPaul's Drag Race this past year, and I gotta say, while we didn't talk about it on the show, it was entertaining, to say the least. They talked about. I don't know if anybody wants me to spoil it to say who actually won because this is already out there, but I was okay with it. Who won? If you haven't seen the episode, you'll go back out there and you'll watch it. But that brings me to this. When that season ended, they just announced that Drag Race All-Star Season 9, the queens for that show have been revealed. So Paramount Plus and World of Wonder officially announced Season 9 cast of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars, which will consist of 8 alumni from Drag Race, now stretching from Season 1 to Season 14. They're going to be competing for $200,000, but for the first time in Drag Race history, the money will be donated to the charity of the winner's choosing. The prize is going to be supplied through the Palette Fund, a private foundation dedicated to breaking down barriers and advancing social change in communities that are under-resourced and facing significant challenges. This is going to happen on May 17th. But here we are. Let's get to the lineup.
Yes.
Angeria Paris Van Michaels from season 14.
Okay.
Got Mick from season 13.
Meh.
Georges from season 14.
I didn't watch that season.
Nina West from season 11.
That's my girl.
Plastique Tiara, season 11. Roxy Andrews, that's my bitch, season 5. And then
baby, she looked flawless.
Baby, that's
Roxy Andrews. The intro. I love Roxy Andrews. And I felt like people were still giving her shit over that thing with Alaska Talks and Jinx, and I was like, girl, that was literally a decade and a half ago. Y'all got to move on. Jinx has moved on. Jinx is good.
Jinx is doing well. All of them are doing well.
All of them are doing well, so let it go.
Okay, so also they're talking about Chanel from season 1 and also All-Star season 1.
Did you see the link that I sent you? I sent it in on Facebook. A link to the they showed the intros.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't look at it yet. But listen, Chanel was one of those girls that I absolutely love. I thought she was beautiful, and the bitch still looks good now. So let's be clear with that. But she's just one of those women that she hasn't aged. Like she looks younger now than she did before. And then last but not least, the 8th person was going to be Vanessa Miss Vanjie Mateo, season 10, and also season 11. So I don't know. Miss Vanjie has been polishing up her act because she's been on the road with Rue and in Vegas and stuff. So I don't know. I just want to see what her evolution is.
She's just too much and not enough at the same time to me.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
She's loud and everything, but it's always like right here. I don't feel like there's any depth to her. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I am going to say
she's playing the Latina Banji girl from New York, and so great. But I don't feel like there's anything to her other than that. And that's all of that surgery and the look. It just does not do anything for me.
Listen. Him out of Vanjie out of drag.
Oh, she can get it.
I said okay. I said, come on, all right. I have a little. I'll entertain, but I don't know.
Right.
Anyway, next story. So the U.S. government agrees to a $138.7 million settlement over the FBI's botching of Larry Nassar's his assault charges. The Justice Department announced the $138.7 million settlement Tuesday with more than 100 people who accused the FBI of grossly mishandling allegations of a sexual assault against Larry Nassar in 2015 and 2016. Nassar worked at Michigan State University and also served as a team doctor at Indianapolis-based USA Gymnastics. He's now serving decades in prison for assaulting female athletes, including medal-winning Olympic gymnasts. So we were talking about Simone Biles, Allie Raisman, Michaela Maroney. These were some of the women that were involved in this particular lawsuit as well.
Mm-hmm.
After a search, investigators said in 2016 they said they found images of child sex abuse, followed up with federal charges against Nassar. The Michigan Attorney General's office handled the assault charges that ultimately shocked the sports world and led to an extraordinary days-long sentencing hearing with the testimony about his crimes. Michigan State University was also accused of missing chances over many years to stop Nassar. They agreed to pay $500 million to more than 300 women and girls who were assaulted. USA Gymnastics and the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee made a $380 million settlement. So this man has been costing people tons and tons of money, and none of it can ever replace the innocence that was lost for any of these people.
Right.
Yeah. Two stories for News of Weird this week.
Yay!
Larry Doyle Sanders, 55, of Allen, Oklahoma, was convicted on April 17th of first-degree murder in the killing of his friend, Jimmy Glenn Knighton, 52, in July of 2022. Now, the Ada News reported that Sanders and Knighton were fishing together when Sanders believed he saw three Sasquatch-looking figures near the river. After strangling Knighton, who he thought had been acting suspiciously, Sanders told relatives that he believed Knighton was trying to summon the Sasquatches so they could feast on Sanders, and he killed Knighton in self-defense. Witnesses said Sanders is a regular user of methamphetamine, which ramps up his Bigfoot rhetoric. His defense was that having used meth 3 or 4 days before the murder, he was in a drug-induced psychosis. Oh!
Lord have mercy.
Listen, in Butte, Montana, the residents are no strangers to big animals. They got a surprise in the morning of April 16th when they spotted an elephant strolling down Harrison Avenue, which is what NBC Montana reported. Now, people were saying it was pretty exciting, but Josh Haniflin, the co-manager of the Civic Center Town Pump, he said, man, they move fast when they walk. The Jordan World Circus was in town, and surveillance cameras caught Viola, that was the elephant, escaping from her pen after being startled by a car backfiring during her bath time. Handlers were able to catch Viola with no trouble after about 20 minutes. Baby, the way I would have shit on myself if I was sitting in my car and I looked out and I thought I saw a fucking elephant coming towards me. Oh my God. Oh my God. Am I an asshole here?
No, I'm just reading through this bullshit about so we can't go live on Facebook until May. I don't give a fuck them.
Jesus. We done put this one raggedy ass on the damn interwebs. Oh. Yeah. This is where we are. But we're going to keep the show moving now. That's what we're going to do. Are you looking for this beautiful bean footage at this particular point?
I am sorry. I'm these hoes is pissing me off now. So all right, so let's get into this beautiful bean footage.
All righty. Hey, listen.
Well, all righty then.
Thank you, Eccentric and Desmond, for y'all deep dive into A Tribe Called Quest and kind of educating all the folk in such a nice and polite way. Because I'm here for it. I thought that was nice.
Yes, I do appreciate that. You know, I'm always down, you know, to learn something new. And you know, I knew that my opinion of music doesn't necessarily, you know, cotton with everyone else, and so it's all good.
Yeah, it's music.
Right.
Everybody has an ear for something different. So
right.
But listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for spending your evening with us. I am actually getting a little tired now that I think about it. And get ready to power myself down because I got a long day tomorrow's. But I am happy to have spent this time with you all this evening.
All right, so it is time for baby. I am tired myself, so I'm about to wrap this all up and enjoy a lovely evening. I'm going to eat some more of these hot wings and some ramen noodles because that's what you do, and watch the latest episode of X-Men and then call it a night.
How many episodes so far?
This is episode 7.
Maybe I'll because I'm gonna get so mad. I don't want to have to start watching it and then like wait for the next episode. I'm trying to wait till everybody. I'm trying not to watch it.
Right.
But anyway.
Well, all right, kids. It's been lovely as always. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you and good night. Bye.